This episode of the Super Hype Gaming Podcast is brought to you by Thick Ass Boys. Damn. Yeah. Thank you, Thick Ass Boys. So this, what is this? What the fuck is this? This is episode 6 of the Super Hype Gaming Podcast. I am your host, Michael Flanagan, and I am joined again by my good friend Habari-sama. Welcome back.
Thank you. I'm sleepy. I'm here though.
Yeah, you went to bed at 5 a.m. last night?
Oh boy. I went to bed at 6. The fuck?
6.
6 or 7.
Woof.
One of those.
That's like when I worked nights at Home Depot. That'd be that'd be my life, is going to bed at 6 a.m. and the sun's coming up and it's just miserable.
I just love the fact that I made a post in the server at 2, yeah, good night you guys.
Yeah, 4 hours later, shit.
Yeah. Oh my god, what is this Death Stranding footage?
Death Stranding? I don't know. I'm not watching any more Death Stranding. I'm on media blackout.
Okay.
I'm totally ignoring all of that. But how have you been? I feel like I haven't talked to you in a hot minute. I did. I was away in California for a week. And then all this past week I streamed every single day. So I feel bad. I haven't been watching anyone else's streams. But what have you been up to? What have you been streaming? What's life been like for my boy?
Well, for your Lord and Savior, Hibari-sama, I've been busy playing on the channel, Hibari-sama _ follow me, subscribe, all that shit.
At twitch.tv.
You know what, you're right. Twitch.tv/Hibari-sama _
It's not your My Free Cams account. Let's be clear. You're not playing Pokemon there.
Yeah, you gotta subscribe to the Patreon for that. And that might be playing Pokemon there. You never know.
You're streaming, let's see. You're streaming Pokemon on Twitch, but at the same time you're also live streaming your balls on myfreecams.com. So
absolutely.
It's technically the same feed. It's just, you're getting different content on each website.
Yeah, 100%. But I've been going through Pokemon Platinum, a randomized Nuzlocke, which I told myself and everyone else literally right after we got done with Heart Gold, I literally never do a fucking Nuzlocke again.
Is Platinum?
And I was like,
is Platinum just another version of Heart Gold and Silver?
Platinum is the third game to release. So you know how there's Crystal and Emerald and stuff it's the third one in a generation, but Platinum is the third one in Gen 4 next to Diamond and Pearl.
Okay. I thought it was Platinum, for some reason I thought it was the third version of Heart Gold and Silver, and I was like, why did they do a third version for a remake? But that makes more sense. I guess the art. I guess the art looks kind of similar, but maybe that I just didn't look at it long enough. Some of the sprites.
You said that though.
Some of the sprites look similar, but
that's true.
So how's that been going?
It's been it's been a lot easier than Heart Gold was. And I don't know what it is. Maybe my luck is just... Oh, well, to be fair, 3 Pokemon died yesterday.
Oh, goodness.
But other than that, it's been pretty good. It's been pretty good. I haven't really gotten lucky with any crazy Pokemon or anything, but it hasn't been as stressful. I can say that. At the very least, it hasn't been as stressful. And for that, at least, I am thankful. The first time, when we were playing Heart Gold, that was the first time ever doing a Nuzlocke, so it was just a bit to wrap my hand around and get the hang of. But I'm learning.
Yeah, do you think the experience just of the previous Nuzlocke is helping at all?
A little bit. I gotta say, I definitely know to be way more cautious this time around.
Yeah.
It's not going to be as long just because, Heart Gold is Johto. So it's Gen 2. And in Gen 2, you can go all the way back to Kanto. So you literally have to beat the game twice, basically. Because you go through collecting the badges twice and beating the Elite Four twice.
Does it feel like New Game Plus when you go back to Kanto? Does it have that kind of feeling?
A little bit, yeah.
Because I mean, is it scaled to where like the start of Kanto is more difficult than the end of Johto, or does the difficulty like start over again?
The start of Kanto is definitely way harder. Because all your pokes stay the same. You know, it's in a technical sense, I guess, a continuation of the game more than it is a restart of anything else. Your character literally is just like your mom's like, "Hey, here's a ticket. Go get on this boat and go to Kanto." Like, you know, all that stuff, and like you just I'm in Kanto now.
So are you fighting like level 60 like Rattatas and shit? When you show up to
No,
Kanto, you're like,
that's the weird part, because all the pokes are like low ass levels in the grass and shit. So you still, if you catch any of them, you still have to like walk around and level those bitches up all damn day. It's the worst.
But are the gym leaders and stuff like kind of
they're up there.
They're up there. Okay.
Yeah, all the trainers in Kanto, like even regular ass guy on the street. Like, it's weird. Trainers are super high level, but the pokes that you can find in the grass are not. That's weirdly unbalanced in some ways.
Yeah, I guess it would be weird to show up and be like, "Oh, look at this level 70 like fucking Caterpie or some shit," but you know, but I don't know. But yeah, that sounds fun. How far into that platinum run are you?
Ooh, 3 badges, I believe. Yesterday we got another badge, and it was fairly easy going, I gotta say. You know, like I try not to overlevel like too much, and it's kind of counterintuitive for how you should reasonably go about playing a Nuzlocke. You're trying to keep your pokes alive, because once they faint, they're dead forever, and you can't use them anymore. So over leveling is kind of considered to be something that you gotta do just to be safe. I've never been a fan of it, and that's why I suck at these games.
Yeah,
I suck at Nuzlocks.
Yeah, well, I mean, hey, soon you're gonna have a Pokemon game that just levels everything up.
Oh my god!
At the same time, and it'll be much easier. You also played both BioShock games, and I think you're playing Infinite right now. Is that correct?
It's true. It's very true.
How's that been going?
Dude, it's been fun. It's been fun to play that game and just fucking bitch about it at the same time. Like you guys.
Infinite? You mean Infinite?
Yeah, BioShock Infinite, which by all means is still a good game. It's still quite fucking good. Like, I'll get that out the way right now. I do think Infinite is a good game. I just think Infinite drops the ball on some of the aspects of it that it tries to incorporate. Such as race issues and other things that are just fucking yikes.
Are there race wars in that game?
Bruh.
Okay, I'll take that as okay. That's fair. Isn't there DLC where you go back to Rapture? Is that any good?
You know, dude, I actually don't know. On PS4, I have it, but I never played it. The first time I beat that game. This is only my second time actually going through it, right? I have all the DLC on PS4 because I have the BioShock collection, right? And that gives you all the DLC for 2. I don't think 1 really had any DLC. And it gives you all the DLC for Infinite, so I could go play that. I'd love to play it on stream, but I need a capture card.
Oh, yeah. Well, that DLC's...
buy the DLC.
Yeah, it's got to be, like, super cheap by now, right?
Yeah. I'm probably looking at that, actually. That's a good idea. But, yeah, you totally go back to Rapture, and it's, you know, from what I've seen of it, which I haven't seen a lot, but it's interesting to be able to go back to Rapture, kind of like how, you know, start of Columbia, and it's like, you can see what these places looks like before shit just hits the fan, you know.
Yeah, that's always fun.
I'm interested in that, you know. It's kind of like I know a lot of people who like exploring the start of Fallout 4. I mean, even though you're just running to the bunker, literally because it's, hey, look, it's the world before it just gets blown the fuck up.
Yeah, you know? that is very cool. That opening. Yeah, it is cool to see like the before and after. I have to agree.
I like that.
Have you? I feel like I don't know why I was thinking about this, but I feel like a game that you probably really love that I was just thinking of randomly. How do you feel about like the Arkham series, specifically like Arkham Asylum and Arkham City?
Mm. I never played Asylum. I went right to City.
Oh, oh,
I know,
oh,
right?
baby, you got to
Like,
play Asylum. You should stream that game. I feel like that would be really fun. I actually like Asylum more than I like City.
yeah,
Um,
people
yeah,
say that.
because Asylum has more of a Metrovania kind of feel to it, and so you really get a good sense of location. And I think City has a really good sense of location as well. I think both those games are fantastic, but I think I prefer the story in Asylum more, just because it's like you're stuck in Arkham Asylum and all your fucking worst enemies are here, and I think that's fun. But I don't know why I was thinking about that. I was just like, man, I bet Hibari fucking loves those games.
I think it's really cool. Definitely. We're not gonna talk about Arkham Knight, but
Yeah, I haven't played it.
uh,
I still need to play Origins, and then
yeah.
I'll play Night eventually. Night was just free for on PlayStation Plus recently, so I got that through there. But yeah, that sounds fun. Sounds like you've
PS4 and I never I popped it in and was like, nah, I'm good.
really.
Like it's oh, so you're riding around Gotham and this is very early. It's first like 30-40 minutes of the game. And it's like, here's your Batmobile. As you do sick burnouts on people and just run people over. And it's like, no. It's fine. You're not hitting them with the Batmobile. It releases this tase that knocks them back before the car touches them. Fuck out of here.
I
You
mean,
are just
Batman.
running people over.
Nah, I mean, Batman thinks of everything. Don't you know that? It's part of his character. He thinks of everything, and he has just infinite planning time for everything. And he has like he has a hyperbolic time chamber that he goes into, and he plans for
Really?
every contingency. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Um,
Why can't he make a time machine and go save his parents?
that'd be too much. That'd be too much. Uh, I think Bruce realizes that he can't tamper with time. He can only like freeze time for himself.
Mm-hmm.
I read this in a comic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. But yeah, that sounds fun. That sounds like you've had a good couple weeks for streaming and stuff.
It's been good. It's definitely been good, yesterday. Day before yesterday or yesterday. One of these fucking days. I wasn't even I was like, I'm too tired for this shit. Which I really was. And then
That's
I
like
ended
every
up
one of my streams.
bruh, it's man, it be like that. And I've been catching you like every now and then towards the end of them. I swear I'd be like, yo, stop watching me, go watch him. You know,
I don't know.
it's good. No, I know it's good shit. Also, you're playing Resident Evil games. Me playing Bioshock is actually just a coincidence. Because I
Yeah.
wasn't going to do anything special for October. I was just going to play whatever the fuck I wanted to. And Bioshock games are spooky. It works.
Yeah, so I've been doing Spooky Hype Gaming. I just wrapped up the Resident Evil arc of that. Well, actually, I'm not fully wrapped up. I have one more thing to do. But let's see. I played all of Resident Evil 2 Leon A last Saturday, and then Monday, Tuesday I played Revelations 1, which kind of surprised me because I mean it's a 3DS game, but it's a really good game. It controls really well. The enemy design leaves a little bit to be desired. The enemies are kind of just like more big goobers than they are like anything scary.
Yeah. It's like RE7?
Yeah, like the molded, they definitely give me molded vibes where like, dude, towards the end of RE7, like every time the molded show up, it's just like, hey, I'm a molded. It's just like, I'm like, these guys are so goofy, which is not,
They really are.
it's not totally a bad thing, but I guess, I mean, the bakers are pretty freaky in that game, so it kind of makes up for it.
Yeah, But I mean,
Especially,
you're not fighting the bakers most of the time.
yeah, but that margarita boss fight, holy shit.
That's spooky. That game has a really nice like fidelity to it, where it's like this is almost a little too realistic looking.
Yeah, that RE engine. That RE engine is so good.
I love
Give me Dragon's Dogma 2 in the RE engine, please.
I'm finna fucking nut. Oh god.
But then, let's see. Wednesday, Thursday, I played Revelations 2. Which was, again, pretty good. Again, the enemy design is a little goofy. The enemies in that game are that, like, kind of heavy metal, like, I'm a fucking dude with a bunch of spikes and shit coming out of my body.
Yeah. Okay, you ain't gonna get spikes or eyeballs, so.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't bad, and it was cool to see some of those characters again. You play as Claire and Barry, and I think Claire's design was very good. Barry's design was very good. So I didn't get very far into either of those games, but I did enjoy them. What I did play. And then Friday we went into Resident Evil 6, which I had never touched before. And for good reason. But I wanted to know, I wanted to see for myself. I wanted to see. And ironically, I think that was probably the best stream because it was just like goofy ass shit happening like every 5 seconds. And I think there's things to like in that game. So I played pretty much like the first chapter of each character. Except for Ada. Ada, I like gave up like 10 minutes in.
Oh wow!
Because that chapter was totally awful. That chapter really sucked. But I did Leon, Chris, and Jake / Sherry. It's weird that the Jake section is like focused on Jake, but I'm like, who gives a shit about Jake? Sherry is here.
Who the hell is Jake?
Yeah, he's some Troy Baker, basically. That's basically who he is. He's voiced by Troy Baker. Yeah, started with Leon, and there are things to like about some of this stuff. Like I like that Leon is fighting like basically G-Virus zombies. It's not like some goofy ass weird, some weird enemies or some shit. It's just like good classic zombies, and Leon looks a little strange. Like his face looks a little weird. But I think his outfit and stuff is not too bad. He's got like another new jacket, which is not as good as his RE4 jacket, but
yeah, I think so.
It was still a good jacket. And then Chris was just like, here's the thing about this game. That I need everyone to know is that playing this game felt like I was just like on cocaine or some shit the whole time. Like, I'm not even kidding. I felt dizzy playing these games. I felt like my apartment was just spinning. Like, several sections of this game, I was just like, what is happening? What the fuck is going on? What am I supposed to do? People are, like, shouting things, and I, like, the Sherry section, especially, when you're playing as Sherry and Jake, and you have to fight, like, this big monster, and it's like, somebody's shouting at you, they're like, go over here! Distract the monster. I'm almost ready with the thing. I'm like, what? Who is talking to me? What are you saying? What's going on? And then like another monster shows up, like another big monster shows up, and it's like, now there's two of them. I'm like, what is happening? But yeah, I think it was fun. You're on a helicopter and some fucking Mr. X wannabe is. That's the part that you tuned in when I was on that damn helicopter.
You were dead inside.
I was, but I was having fun. I think I was having ironic fun. I think if I wasn't streaming, I would be miserable, but because it was a stream, it was fun. And then yesterday, right? Was that yesterday? Yeah. I played most of Claire B in Resident Evil 2 Remake, and I'm going to be finishing that up either tonight or tomorrow night. So that should be fun. And then I got to figure out what I'm going to do for the last week of Spooky Hype Gaming. I don't have that decided yet. I'm definitely gonna have a night of classic Castlevania games. That's a definite. That might even be the Halloween stream. But yeah, that's fun. Wednesday, I will be on stream in costume because Wednesday we're dressing up at work. So expect that. I will be in some goofy-ass costume, and that will be great.
Should I do one of those meme costumes people have been doing, apparently?
It won't be a meme, but I can recreate some memes. Okay. I'll put it that way. And then let's see. Either next Saturday or next Sunday. I initially said Saturday, but it might have to be on Sunday. I will be doing my Extra Life stream. So if you're unfamiliar with Extra Life is basically an organization that combines gaming and charity. So Extra Life every year has a game day where you can sign up and you can kind of just stream, and you can do it kind of any day, but they kind of they make a big push for the game day. And you can sign up and you can collect donations for charity. So I will be streaming for CHOA, Children's Hospital of Atlanta, or Children's Healthcare of Atlanta, excuse me, which does really great stuff here in Atlanta and all over Georgia. So my goal is $100. I put $25 in myself, so that will happen either Saturday or Sunday, and we'll see how long we can go before Extra Life comes in and says, like, hey, on behalf of the children, we want you to stop streaming, please.
You're a terrible person. Please stop.
Yeah, we can see that you have just eaten some children, and we don't really want to endorse what you're streaming right now.
Facts.
The corpse is on camera. Like, please shut this down.
How have you not been banned yet, sir? Please stop.
Yeah, exactly. So that would be that. And then, dude, after that, like, I'm gonna be toning it down. I'm gonna be like kind of winding down the streams. I'm gonna be streaming mostly on Fridays and Saturdays after that. Just because I have a lot of projects going on. I feel like every year around November, December, I have like 20,000 projects that I put on myself. It's not even like things that are necessarily required. It's just shit that I do to myself. And it's like, God damn it, why I can't tell if I love it or if I hate it, because it's just like I have a million things to stress about and think about, and every day is I have to work on something different. And there are some games that I want to play kind of privately. So I think over November break, I really want to play Link's Awakening. I think that's going to be a really great kind of November break game. I really want to play Banner Saga 2 this winter. I played Banner Saga 1 last winter, and it was like the coziest. It was the first Switch game that I played like entirely handheld, and it was so fucking cozy. It was so nice. I played it like in bed. It's just got this nice, cozy, depressing vibe to it.
Cozy, depressing vibe.
Yeah, I mean, because you're... I don't know like how to sell that game, but you're basically just like a bunch of... I mean, you're traveling across the world, and like shit's fucked. And like you're trying to make the best of it. That's like the best. Yeah. Because it's like Oregon Trail kind of. It's got some Oregon Trail kind of vibes to it. And it's really, really good. The ending is so depressing, but I love it. I love shit like that. So I kind of decided that I would play each game like in winter. I feel like the best time to play that game is like snuggled up in bed when it's like really, really cold.
There's 3 of those, right?
Yeah, there are 3 of those, so that'll be a 3-year-long thing, I guess. And then I want to play Death Stranding like privately.
November 8th, right?
Sometime in November. I've been on total media blackout, so I haven't even.
Not even before release date.
I mean, I know. I put it out of my head, right? I know it was coming in November, and I'm just like, okay. I'm putting this game kind of out of my head until November.
Fair enough.
So I just haven't been like in the zeitgeist with the news and stuff on that game, but I know the release date was announced, and I put it in my head that it's in November. I just didn't lock down the specific date in my memory palace.
Fair enough. Fair enough. No spoilers, but I think it's November 8th.
Yeah, probably.
Spoilers.
Probably. Yeah, spoilers. Thanks. Now I know the fucking release date, you dick.
I'm so sorry.
I
That's
don't think you
Wooly.
are.
That's Wooly.
Is it? Oh, also another thing I've been doing is I've been playing Indivisible, and I know that some people have been kind of dunking on this game, and I totally get it. Like I think this game has some issues, but as a game that I'm playing privately, like after streaming all the time, it's been really good because it's not too difficult. It's pretty straightforward. Um, I really like the characters. I obviously the art is like phenomenal. Um, and yeah, it's been a pretty cozy game to just kind of like chill with, you know.
Yeah.
And sometimes you need that. Sometimes you need just an in an easygoing game. It doesn't have a lot of depth, but that's fine. You know, I'm fine with that. So yeah, that's been me.
So Indivisible. What were some of the complaints people were having? Because I was hearing stuff like from our local Plague of Ripes that it feels like a fighting game company was forced to make a RPG type
Yeah,
of
well, I
things.
mean this company made Skullgirls, and I forget the name of the company, but Mike Z is like the head of
Is it
that
Lab
company.
Zero?
Yeah, Lab Zero. That's correct. Thank you. So they made Skullgirls, which was from my understanding a very good fighting game, and again had like phenomenal art and character design.
Oh
Um,
man, does it?
it didn't get a lot of attention, just I think because it was like an indie kind of fighting game, so it was kind of didn't get the respect it deserves.
Yeah.
So they went and made this RPG, and it's not really an RPG. You can level up, but there's you're not getting like gear, you're not getting there's no items at all that you can use. Um, it's just my understanding is that it's similar to a game called Valkyrie Profile, which I've never played before.
I
But
keep wanting to play that, but never get around to it.
yeah, so yeah, the RPG elements are very light, and it introduces you have like it's hard to explain, but each character has like different moves that they can do, and everything is in real time, and you can do like combos and juggles and stuff, but it's not really necessary. The difficulty isn't really there, and the depth isn't really there where you need to really think about like what you're doing all the time. Which again, for my purposes, which is like a privately played in my downtime after streaming or some shit kind of game.
Yeah.
I think it's fine. I think it's fine to have a game that I can just kind of chill with. But
Oh, definitely.
and I've heard some story complaints. I'm maybe like 5 or 6 hours in, and I think the story is neat. I'm into it so far. It's not like groundbreaking or anything, but it's cute. It's charming. Um, but yeah, definitely not.
Yeah,
I did back this game. I did back this game several years ago on Indiegogo, and I forgot that I got I forgot that I got like a lot of these games. Anytime I back a game on like Kickstarter or some shit, I always forget about like which tier I put in. So apparently I got the tier where I get like a really nice steel case, and it has like an art book in it, and it has I got a digital copy
books.
and a physical copy, which I think is cool. I think it's very cool to get like physical copies of a kickstarted or a crowdfunded game. In this case, Indiegogo. But yeah, it's cool. It's just funny, like this package shows up, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? I'm like, oh, it's Indivisible shit. Okay, cool. I forgot. I bought this basically.
Oh man, this game, I feel like for some people, not for us, 'cause I'm sure we've both known about this. As you said, you literally helped, fund this game. But through our mutual enjoyment of like super best friends play, we've both known about this game for a couple of fucking years. Honestly, like it feels like it's been a minute. Like I don't know, it
It
probably
has.
hasn't been as long, but it feels like since like 2015 at least.
I was about to say I think 2015 is when they launched it, and I kind of did. So the thing that I do with games that I crowdfund like this is I kind of do a similar thing like I'm doing with Death Stranding, where I back it and then I go on just total media blackout, and they
Yeah.
send all the updates. Like I get 1,000 emails that are like, here's our progress or whatever, and I just ignore them. I just wait for the game to come out, and so like Indivisible actually kind of surprised me with the release date. I was like, oh, okay, this game's coming out, cool. But
I know a lot of people are probably just happy to finally have it in their hands. Share like that feeling. I know it's like there's always a feeling of oh the game's good, just baseline.
yeah,
I hope it's good, right? But then it's like, given
I
how some funds go, it's like I just hope this game comes out.
yeah, I feel like part of the reason that I'm enjoying it more than most is because I ignored a lot of stuff, so I wasn't like keeping track of it. Every week, every month. I kind of just forgot about it, and then it came out, and I'm like, oh, this cool new game. I didn't really have a lot of like expectations, other than having like some cool art and some simple but fun gameplay. So,
Did you ever watch the like alpha beta footage that Best Friends put up on their channel some years back?
I did play that demo several years ago. I did play that, but again, that was like, yeah, that must have been like 2015 that came out.
Yeah.
So it
was like
had been a
forever
while.
ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like this in my mind, Indivisible, and it feels so like around the time of Mighty Number. Mighty Number 9 was before this a little bit, I would say at least.
Mm-hmm.
But like in my mind, they're so close together. I think Mighty Number 9 might have still been in development, but I don't know. It seems like at the time, like in terms of like certain games being spoken about and Kickstarters and crowdfunding, like those two were in the same boat for a little bit of people just bringing them up and being like, you should support these.
Yeah. Well, I think Mighty Number 9 brought all of that down. Mighty Number 9 is the one that made people reconsider supporting games. Indivisible actually almost didn't make it. It was like very, very, very close. And I remember when I backed that game, like the final days of that campaign, I was checking in daily. I was like, man, this game is close, but it's not there yet. And it almost didn't make it, and I'm very happy that it did. I think they had to do an extension. I think that like there's certain rules on Indiegogo or some shit where it's like if you get almost there, you can like add an extension to your campaign, but if you don't make it during the extension, then you're done. So they had the extension, and it was like even like towards the end of the extension, it was like they're almost there, but they're not quite.
Yeah.
So it was close, but I'm glad. I'm happy with the game.
Yeah.
I'm just glad it's out and it's decent. So
That's always good.
Yep.
Unless
yep.
at this point the game was properly funded and basically done, right? But it's like, what if Epic just out of nowhere was like, "Hey, want some money?"
Yeah, that'd be nice. I mean, they have a really good engine. I believe they're using the same engine that they use for Skullgirls, and it's really, really nice. The character art is so good. The animations are just beautiful.
It looks snappy.
Yeah, it really is. So hopefully Lab Zero, takes some of the lessons and maybe makes Indivisible 2. I don't know, and or Skullgirls 2 or some shit. I think anything they make will be decent. I don't think they're not gonna make like a shitter or anything.
I can't have that opinion about any studio anymore.
Yeah, I guess that's true. All right, we'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah.
We'll get there. Yeah. So I guess we can start now. 35 minutes into the podcast, we can start with the podcast proper, as I call it. So we're gonna start the podcast 35 minutes in again. We're gonna start the podcast. I'm gonna ask you a question. Do you think that God hides in heaven because he too lives in fear of Fallout 76.
I think we're all dead and sinners are forced to play Fallout 76.
That's a good take. So the story here is that Bethesda has announced some premium subscription services for Fallout 76. And this is like a whole podcast worth of story here. So Bethesda announced that you can pay either $9.99 per month or $100 a year for a subscription service to Fallout 76, which gets you certain goodies. I know the biggest thing is that it gets you the ability to have a private server. It gets you like
Dash box.
Yeah, let's see. It gets you private worlds, a scrap box for unlimited junk storage, a survival tent that creates a new placeable fast travel point with a stash. I don't know what any of that means really. Sleeping bag, 1,600 atoms per month to use in the shop. So that's their like microtransaction currency, I guess.
Yeah, and it's about $15, I guess, maybe.
And this one's $15. I didn't know about this. This one is interesting. The Fallout New Vegas Ranger armor outfit.
Yeah.
So that makes this more interesting because the timing of this is also very interesting because I think it was within the same week, and it was before they announced this. They announced that the update that is going to bring the NPCs to the game has been delayed until 2020. Mm-hmm. So they announced that is going to be delayed, and then a few days later they announced this paid subscription service. And then a few days after that, Obsidian launches The Outer Worlds, which is just like they're just doing it for Obsidian. They're just giving it to them. But it's interesting that the Fallout New Vegas armor is in there because, from my understanding, Bethesda has kind of ignored New Vegas. I think partly because it wasn't actually made by them, it was made by Obsidian. So it's so funny to see that the New Vegas armor is going to be in there the week that Obsidian launches The Outer Worlds. That's hilarious.
That's this all just seems like either the happiest coincidence or I don't know what. Is this corporate espionage? Like, what is... How are you guys failing this hard? Like, at this point, this all just feels like the last-ditch effort to try to squeeze out at least a little bit more money from the idiots who still play this game.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. It's like, I wonder if they have data that says, like, look, the people that are playing this game are buying a shit ton of atoms, and so we can just make some money off of them. Or if they're like, hey, the PR for this game is already a nightmare. We might as well just make a fuck ton of money, or make as much money as we can. People already hate the game. It seems like this game came out almost a year ago, and it seems like every single week there's some fucking bullshit Fallout 76 news. Like, almost every single week. It's insane. And it's like they kind of turned it... I don't want to say they turned it around, but they made some good forward progress at E3 where they announced, just some of the updates that they're going to be adding to the game. I think people were excited for the NPC update. I don't know how that Battle Royale mode turned out, but I think people were kind of excited for that, and I think it looked kind of cool. But I don't know. So the story goes on too, where the website for Fallout, so the service is called Fallout First, and so Bethesda failed to get the domain for FalloutFirst.com, and so I think it was someone on 4chan, basically, I don't know, somehow they got the domain for this website and they put up it's the image for the subscription where it's like Fallout First, and it's got the Vault Boy, and it just says "fuck you."
Yeah, and they've changed a lot of the text. It's great.
Yeah, so
A complete mockery.
and then I think when they launched it, like shit wasn't working. So
Yeah. Oh shit! Wasn't.
wasn't it like deleting people's data and shit?
People's whole stashes were being deleted.
Oh my god.
When they would put their shit in the your nice little infinite stash box, which was a feature, by the way, that of course plenty of people were asking for, and it's a game where they're like, hey, collect scrap. You guys like Fallout 4, right? Collect some more scrap. So that's what people have been doing this whole game. And people were like, it'd be really cool to have more space, because in a game about collecting shit, you kind of need more space eventually,
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, why would we not make you pay for it, right? So says Bethesda, I suppose. So, you're paying for that now, but that's beside the point. The point is, like, you have the stash box, right? You've just spent possibly $100 on this, or you're paying it month by month, whatever have you.
The fact that it's $100
On
is like,
bro.
I mean, I guess unless we forget that this game was like $20 like 2 weeks after it launched.
Yeah.
And at some point they were like at some point stores were just like giving it away. Basically, they were giving away like 2 copies of the game for the price of 1.
Please buy this.
Get this shit off our shelves, please.
But so people would put their items in there, and some of them would come back, and like their whole stashes would be deleted. When this first happened, Bethesda tried to they put out a statement and was like, this is just a problem with your UI. Your UI just doesn't list your items there, but they're still there. They're just not listed. Right, so that's why it looks like you open your stash box and it's just a blank inventory. And then like a couple hours later, or like the next day, they're like, so your items might actually be deleted. We're gonna look at
Yeah, so Todd Howard heard from the internet that our games are kind of busted, right?
I love how dismissively he said that.
Oh man.
Like this sarcasm. Yeah, I heard it on the internet, so it has to be true. No, it is true, and people talk about it on the internet. Fuck you. But oh yeah, what about? So how there's private servers now up to like 7 or 8 people can join your private server, which is cute because there's still no talk about mods or anything, and this is one of the main things people were looking forward to. Private servers hosted by like one of Amazon services on top of that shit. But a few things people have been noticing. One, containers in some of these servers are already loot, as if they're being put into a recycled world and not a brand new server. And 2, random players have just been able to enter people's private servers and just go in there and kill them anyway. Like just people straight up, like Dark Souls style, invading people's servers. And griefing them, like, but are you?
I have to wonder, like, what, like, how is it? Like, how?
Like,
how many copies of Skyrim did you sell, and you can't make this fucking game just work? Like, it doesn't even have to be good, but it's the fact that it doesn't even work half the time. And like every time they launch a new feature, it works in the opposite intention of what they meant it to work, or of how they meant it to work.
Yeah,
it's unbelievable. I mean,
it's kind of impressive at this point, honestly.
It sort of is impressive, and I'm sure that it will continue to be impressively embarrassing, but. I can't believe after a year of like just total fucking disaster.
Yeah.
After a year of just the most PR nightmarish disaster game that you could ever release, they're like, "Hey, give us money for a paid subscription, please. You want to pay $100 for a private server?"
Like, aside from maybe the private servers, there's literally nothing of any. Like, the tent thing, I can understand if they were like, actually at this point, fuck you guys, I can't understand any shit. But like, people may be like, yeah, the atoms, cool, bitch. You're paying them $100. Like buying microtransactions, in-game currency shit has always been like, ultimately they're not losing money. It's a piece of code, right? They could give out 1 billion atoms to you, and you'd still like they'd still lose literally no money for the most part. You know, um. So it's like this is all profit. And it's sad. Like the frustrating part for me, honestly, comes in people who are like, I would love to support the developers, because then they're gonna be able to make their games better. How many people bought this game? How many people bought 76? How many people bought the collector's edition, the super cool? Let me get my Brotherhood of Steel or my Power Armor edition.
The one that's gonna like give you mold.
Oh,
the collector's edition
Yeah.
that might literally kill someone at some point.
Asbestos edition.
Yeah, asbestos edition.
Like
Canvas trash bag edition.
they don't need your money. They just want your money. Like Bethesda is not some indie company, right? Like it's just like thing where it's like, don't get me wrong, I 100% understood. Like I've bought Dragon's Dogma like 3-4 times now, and if I have a Switch, I will happily buy that shit again. Why? I love Dragon's Dogma. Capcom's really Cap God. They're doing it,
Yeah, they are Cap God status again.
Yeah, and it's like I have no problem, and also I really want Dragon's Dogma too, but that's beside the point.
The balls to like put this out the week that the Outer Worlds released. The balls to say like, hey, we know this other Fallout game, game similar to Fallout is coming out, but how about you pay $100 for a busted ass game?
I
and
just
like
want some numbers to come out like a month later of them being like, blank amount of people bought, are subscribed to Fallout first, kind of like they did when 76 first came out, and they're like, 1 million people are playing this game, or whatever the number was, and it's like, bro, your game is still busted. It doesn't matter how many people are playing it. It's still broke. Fix it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a whole story. That's a whole...
What are we doing to Fallout, guys? Because listen, it's never too late to like. This horse isn't dead yet, and Bethesda won't let it die.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about this on the podcast again. I mean, I just talked about this a couple of podcasts ago, where it was the story about the power armor masks that had, they were recalled because they had mold, basically mold in them.
Did you see the update to that story?
No, what was the update?
So it wasn't the manufacturing of the helmets themselves. It was something about the company that was shipping.
Oh yeah, they sat in some kind of storage for so long and just accumulated moisture.
Yeah, so at the most, everybody who ordered those maybe doesn't have. It was just those specific ones, but
still, I mean, they had this issue. They had like some kind of alcoholic drink too that had some issues, and it's just like, how many fucking collector's editions come out every single year when there's no problems with it? It like it's not even just the game. That's the crazy part about this whole story is that it's not even just the game. It's everything. It's every ancillary detail to do with the game as well. The collector's edition is fucked up. They sent out fucked up misleading bags. The helmet is giving people mold and it's not even just the game. It's everything. It's like how is every single part of this just fucked up?
Like, dude, this is like some ARG bullshit. Like,
it makes me wonder. Like, I wonder how many people are on this Fallout 76 team. I wonder if it's just like not a lot of people, and they're just doing the best they can.
It's straight up. I'll say this. Honestly, at this point, I have no sympathy for you if you bought fucking. To be fair, that's really mean. And it does suck if all your stuff got deleted because you deserve better as one of the foolish people who would still support this game. You do still deserve better, even though you should have known better. On top of that, there's a lot of people who defend Fallout. It's a Bethesda game. You should expect bugs. Like, that makes it okay. You should have expected bugs, and well, here you go. But beside that, I literally just forgot what I was going to say. I hate myself so much.
I mean, I think, I've heard that the Outer Worlds has some bugs and stuff. I mean, I think it's something to expect from games like that. I mean, there's a million things going on. You can pick up, like, every single item that's populated this world map. But there's still...
That is a justification, and that's the worst part about it.
There's still things that can be good, There's still things that can be good. And I'm interested to see when they finally reveal Starfield, which is their next game. Their sci-fi kind of RPG that they're going to go for. I'm interested to see. I mean, I generally take games on a game-to-game basis. So there are companies that I will follow heavier than other companies. But if you reveal a game and you reveal lots of good stuff about the game, then even if your past games were shit, I'll kind of not really give you a pass, but I analyze things on a game-to-game basis. I'm not going to hold a future game accountable for things that a past game did. So they, if they want people to care about Starfield, they really need to knock it out of the park. They really need to show some exciting stuff. They need to show off a new engine. They need to show off just it needs to be so fucking solid, and they need to show off a lot of it. It won't be good enough, when they show off Starfield, if they show off, 2 minutes of cuts and stuff like that. They need to do like a long extended trailer. They need to say, this is how the game works. This is what you can do. This is what, a chunk of this game looks like when it's being played. But that's not really what they
trust that though.
Yeah, but you can trust it more. I mean, that's Bethesda recently with their games has been like, hey, here's a cinematic, here's a 2 minute jump cut trailer, and that's just it's not going to cut it when you have such negative PR, kind of plaguing your company. You really need to knock it out of the park when you show off a new game. So hopefully they do better with Starfield. I mean, I hope they do better with Starfield. I always like to be excited for games more than I like to be kind of anti-excited for games, I guess. I want games to be good. I want all games to be good. So,
I mean, I 100% feel that, but on a personal note,
I mean, I'm gonna be skeptical.
Yeah.
Going in, I'm gonna be skeptical, obviously, but I'm just saying that, if they can prove it, then I'll let them prove it. But they need to prove it, and they need to put in the effort to prove it. They can't they definitely can't rest on their laurels anymore.
Yeah. What if 76 was all just a ploy to get money for Starfield?
I mean, it's a pretty bad ploy if that's the case.
No,
you mean like a secret crowdfunder?
Yeah.
It's just like a.
Much.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't even need to be good. People still bought it.
Yeah.
Because it's Bethesda. Like, literally, because there are people who are like, yeah, this game's bad, but I like Fallout, so I'm going to buy it because it's another Fallout thing I can buy. And Bethesda knows that. That's why they came up with a service that costs $100.
Yeah, my understanding is that it didn't sell. Like, I mean, I know it sold relatively well, but they did discount it like by half price, even on like digital stores, like a month, or like not even a month, like 2-3 weeks in. And to me, that says that like, ooh, woof, we need to move some fucking copies of this because we did not do what we expected.
A part of me wants to say they probably. I know I'm a jaded asshole, but I can't trust Bethesda anymore. Not and like you said, if they can make a better game, let them make a better game.
Here's the thing too.
They've shown that they really just don't respect their customers, and that's the bigger problem.
Yeah.
Ultimately.
I just thought of this. The ultimate baller move would have been like, hey, here's our subscription, but the game is now free to play.
The game is basically already free to play.
I mean, you still have to buy the game, though, right?
$100 though?
But you have to buy the game and then pay $100 for a year subscription.
You know what's the worst, though, right? You have to buy the game, and then you have to pay for the subscription. But if you're on, like, PS4, you also have to pay for PlayStation Plus.
Yeah. Oh, wait.
That's rough. I hate PlayStation Plus. There's certain aspects of it that should be free, and other things that could be their own services is the big problem, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I won't. I'll never be like I'll never champion paying for a service. I'll never be like, yeah, I love to pay for a service. However, you know, playing online games in the PS3 era was free. However, the PlayStation Network in the PS3 era sucked shit, and people forget this, but the PS3 era of the PlayStation Network was very bad. And so if they want to collect some money, and it's much better on the PS4, it's much better. So if they need the resources for that, then I don't know. I guess that's fine, but
I feel you, but it's like handling servers for games in terms of multiplayer developers. You're not paying the developer to play online. You're paying Sony to pay online, and unless they're giving that money to developers,
you're not wrong.
What's it going for? Because PlayStation Store sucks. That's the weirdest part. Why is PlayStation Store always so slow? It's and, like weird, terrible to load.
It's slow and weird and terrible to load, but it is 1,000% better than PS3.
Oh, dude, I tried to like just go to that store, PS3, like months ago. And, oh my god, turned it off.
It was a godsend when they finally changed their search function on the store. If you remember, searching on the PlayStation Store used to be like you had to
fucking line thing.
You had to scroll through a line of letters. You couldn't just like type on a keyboard. And it was finally, I think it was like this year that they finally made it to where you could just type on a keyboard. And it was like, thank you. This is. Why did it have to be that way for like 10 years?
Like, who thought of that? Who thought in their mind this is good?
Kaz Hirai did. That was his personal investment.
Oh yeah, is that?
Okay. Yeah, he came up with that, and nobody could tell him no. So,
all right,
that's enough Fallout for now.
She just stop him.
That's enough Fallout. So let's go to some slightly more uplifting news. There was a tweet from Ikumi Nakamura, who's been going around to a bunch of different. She is very energetic and very cute. So she was the one that kind of revealed Ghostwire from Tango, which is the studio that made the God, what is it called? Evil Within games. And my understanding is that she doesn't work there anymore. I'm not fully caught up on that part, but she's been going around to a bunch of different studios. She went to Sony Santa Monica and hung out with Corey Barlog.
Barlog.
Yeah, Barlog, not Barlog. But she's hanging out with the director of Okami, Kamiya, and she tweets, "Okami is going to be back. We want to make a Okami sequel, and fans are looking forward to it. You guys want to see Kamiya's Okami again, right, everybody? I want to see it too." Which almost sounds like they're announcing it, but I think they're more saying like, "Hey, don't you guys want to see this? Do you guys want to see this?" Mm-hmm. It's not really an official announcement, but hell yes, I want to see more Okami.
I never played Okami, but I'd like more. I'd like more of Okami's art style above all that aesthetic.
I think you playing Okami on stream would be so good. That game is so good. The music is a 10.
Isn't the art game, like, long as hell though?
It is. So the funny thing about Okami is that it almost has a sequel baked in.
Oh my god.
Because basically, like, it starts and it's like, here's the big bad, and then you defeat the big bad, and then it's like, okay, here's a whole other arc about like the repercussions of that. And so it's almost like playing that game is almost like playing 2 games in one. But it is
Dragon's Dogma.
a little bit, yeah. But it is very, very good. That game is very, 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 very good. And there was the 3DS game, or not 3DS. It was just a regular DS game, which I never played. Okamiden. But my understanding is that is a direct sequel, story wise. And my understanding of that is that it's pretty good, but again, it's a DS game. So, but I would love to see more Okami. That game's the art style in that game still holds up. That game looks fucking phenomenal still, and it's been released. This game is similar to RE4, where it's been released on every fucking platform that's ever existed. But I will gladly take more Okami. So Okami was made by Clover, which doesn't exist anymore. A lot of the guys from Clover split off and formed Platinum Games, and that's where Kamiya is currently, which is not part of Capcom, obviously. Capcom currently still owns, the rights to Okami, so we'll see. We'll see what happens, but
we'll sorry, go ahead.
It's like I don't really like tweets like this where it's like, hey, I'm the guy that made the thing. Don't you want to see the thing again? I want to make the thing again.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I do, but
what are you actually saying though?
Yeah, what are you actually saying though? Don't get me erect if you're not gonna finish the job, Don't leave me with blue balls, please.
Yeah. Don't leave me with blues balls. Actually, leave me with never mind. Never mind.
Blue has very large balls. I don't know if you know this, but they're like grapefruits. It's ridiculous.
Just see an actor right there.
I mean, it's all natural. It's all natural. There's nothing wrong with it.
Very impressive for sure.
It is.
He tells me about it daily, puts me to sleep.
When he puts them on your face, it's like they cover your whole face. It's very relaxing.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving from bad story to somewhat good story, back to bad story. So, NBA 2K20 has some fuckery going on, where I don't even fully understand the story. Basically, there's a new game mode where you can, if you do good in this game mode or some shit, you can unlock the opportunity to purchase shoes. And so, I read this whole story, and it's like, I don't buy shoes like this. Some people are obsessive with buying shoes and stuff like this. And
this is tailored towards black people so fucking hard, by the way.
It is.
This is the most targeted audience bullshit ever.
Yeah, for sure. And my understanding is that when a company like Jordan, or I guess is Jordan's under Nike? Is that a thing? Does Nike own Jordans?
Something like that. Yeah, I think it's his brand, but not his shoe company, so to speak.
Right. But my understanding is that buying high I don't even know what to call these, high class shoes like this, sometimes you have to get in and pre-order them, and they run out quick. And so this is just hey, if you play the game, you can earn. It's it's adding a layer to make this even more difficult. It's hey, if you want these shoes, you have to play this game mode, do really well, and then you'll get the opportunity to buy the shoes. But if you might even still be locked out, even if you get the opportunity, you might not get in time.
Oh my god!
And it's just I wish game companies would just stop doing shit like this. It always looks bad.
Yeah. And
I don't know. I mean, I think it's funny, but I imagine. I just imagine all these people man, I gotta get these shoes. I gotta play NBA 2K20.
And that's how people be in real life. Shoe fashion is weird, but that's beside the point. But in some weird way, kind of tied to it. But yeah, this just.
I don't really have much to say about the story. It's just I saw the story. It was I read this on Kotaku, and it's just like, the headline is NBA 2K20 combines the worst parts of buying sneakers and playing video games. And it's just like, I just bring it up because I just think it's a funny story. I don't really have much to add to it. I just think it's funny.
I don't either. I just think it's funny, but it's like, this is so stupid.
Yeah.
I hate the NBA 2K slot machine. The game is also a slot machine on top of that, in terms of some other shit. But like, that's beside the point. But
I feel like all those sports games are at that point, especially like FIFA and shit.
Yeah, the game had like fucking upgrade card packs and other weird shit. It's like, what is? Sports games are weird because they have like weird microtransaction bullshit in them, but no one talks about it. And the people who play those games are so enamored by them that they literally don't care.
Yeah, I mean, the people that buy those games and buy those microtransactions are so far removed from like their own subsection of like gaming. Like those people don't play those people don't play fucking Okami. They don't give a shit about that. They don't play fucking
almost like mobile gamers. They don't fucking care. They don't care.
Exactly. It's a whole different audience. But the audience is there. Those games do really well with that stuff.
It's true.
Okay. So our next story is Pup Snuffers Part 2 has been delayed. So previously, Pup Snuffers Part 2 had I think a February, let's see, I have it written down on one of my previous notes. This was a podcast title. Yeah, February 21st was the original release date for The Last of Us Part 2. And they just announced that release date like a few weeks ago. They had a whole event. They had a media event where they brought a bunch of people in to play the game, and they made a whole big trailer to say this is our release date. And this week on Thursday, Naughty Dog announced that the release date has been delayed until May 29th, 2020, which is several months. That's what, like 3 months or so.
Mm-hmm.
But the first Last of Us had a 2-week delay, and I think Neil Druckmann kind of famously said that he had a quote where he said like that game went from good to great in those 2 weeks, which I totally don't buy. But
yeah,
this is a more substantial delay. I'm always in favor of delays because there's too many fucking games, and anytime you delay a game, it's like, okay, now I have more time for this other game.
Yeah, also, the game, there's a higher chance of the game coming out and being, which is the part where I think, some people who are like, I want that game so bad, kind of forget, like, the purpose of delaying the game.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just to make you wait more, it's to fix your game so that it's not bad when you buy it. But
yeah, for sure. I'm excited for the game. I'm not one of those people that thinks that The Last of Us is, like, one of the greatest games of all time. But I think it's very good. I think the music and the environments and stuff are phenomenal. The voice acting is best in the biz. Some of the story stuff is I have some issues with. Some of the gameplay and stuff I have some issues with. But some of the stuff that they showed off in The Last of Us Part 2, it definitely looks improved. I think some of the gameplay stuff looks definitely more involved and has more depth to it. So I'm excited to play the game. I'm perfectly fine with this delay.
Yeah, I mean, it's ultimately, honestly, really like nothing mad about, And what? To be fair, it seems like overall reception towards this news has been okay. We'll wait.
Yeah,
and that's awesome.
I think it's a little strange that this is coming so soon after they made a big deal about announcing the release date. It's like I can't imagine. It's weird to think that Naughty Dog is like, they put out their trailer and they're like, here's our release date, and then in the span of like 2 or 3 weeks they're like, shit, we can't make that. That it seems strange. It seems strange that they're like, oh no, like I can't imagine them like at the date that the original trailer came out and announced the release date. There must have been some rumblings of like, nah, this has got to get pushed. Especially because it's like a couple months, You're going from February to May.
But Maybe they just needed time to like polish up a few things.
Yeah, I think that's fine. I just think it's
the longest delay in the world either.
It's not long, but they must have known that they weren't going to make that February release date when they put that trailer out, you know? Like,
yeah, that's probably. I mean, you got to assume, right? Unless like some form of communication didn't get together in time to properly express that, but yeah, I mean, ultimately they could have just not put out a release date.
Maybe it would have been frustrating for them to put out a trailer and still not have a release date. You know, maybe they just wanted to say, like, here's a window or something, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, you can still just go first quarter 2019, 2020, rather.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
But it's funny, too. It's like this game's coming out in May.
Yeah.
PlayStation 5 is coming out, 6 months later? At that point, just wait for the PlayStation 5 version, you know?
You think there's... Well... Release? Do you think they're working on a PS5 version, like, right now?
I think it's guaranteed, yeah. I think The Last of Us Part 2 will be on PlayStation 5.
I don't doubt it. I definitely don't doubt that.
Whether it's just like, hey, you can play the PlayStation 4 version, you know, there's the rumblings about backwards compatibility. And maybe, you know, it'd be nice if, like, you could just take your digital copy and download it, and, like, there's a patch that says, hey, this, you know, the game runs a little better on PlayStation 5 or some shit. Or if they just sell a PlayStation 5 version, but it will be on PlayStation 5. I have no doubts about that.
Well, what are your thoughts in terms of the likelihood of fucking launch games being really good this gen? Still doesn't feel like we've been there yet, other than like Wii Sports, if you want to count that. But that
Xbox is committed to launching Halo Infinite with their new console. So I think that'll be really strong. I think launching with one of your biggest IPs is obviously a good thing.
It's going to be a system seller, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. I think Sony has some stuff up their sleeves. Guerrilla has been really quiet recently. Guerrilla Games, they made Horizon Zero Dawn. You know, the dream scenario, for Sony is that, you know, Horizon 2 is their big launch title for the PlayStation 5. I think that's kind of the perfect game to have as a launch title. The thing with launch titles is that, like, you can't have too many. You know, you can't really, like, eat your lunch with just a bunch of high quality, you know, first party launch titles. So you need to commit to one. You need to commit to one game that's there that says this is the power of the PlayStation 5. And, you know, there'll be third party games. You know, Ubisoft will have a bunch of games. Capcom will have a bunch of games. But you need that one kind of exclusive game, and you need just one of it, and it needs to be big. And that's the issue with a lot of consoles recently, is that they haven't had it. Nintendo did really well with launching Breath of the Wild, you know, as a launch title for the Switch. I think that's the perfect launch. That might be the best launch title for you know, for a console, at least in like modern times. Because that's just a big, substantial game. It's a IP that people love. You can spend a lot of time in it, and there wasn't a lot of stuff. There wasn't a lot of stuff at the Switch launch. You know, you had like Bomberman R and Snipper Clips, and, you know, just some smaller stuff. But you had this big, meaty game that people were hungry for. So, yeah. So Microsoft will have Halo. Hopefully that'll actually work out, and, you know, Halo Infinite won't be delayed or some shit. But yeah, we'll see what Sony has. They've got lots and lots and lots of first party studios, so they can definitely make it happen. The thing is with Sony is that, and it's kind of a good thing, is that I don't think they don't force their studios to put out games on their time schedule. They kind of say like, hey, make your game and just do it. So I think it's a good and a bad thing. It means that the games aren't going to be rushed, and it means that, you know, the developers kind of have some leeway to take their time and make the game good, and they're not trying to meet some deadline for a console launch. But it also means that your console launch might be a little dry, But they'll, I think for the PlayStation 5, they will have something. I think Sony has learned some big lessons this gen, and hopefully they don't get too big of a head. But I think they're going to do some good stuff.
I would love to live in a world where something like Bloodborne 2 or Demon Souls 2 were like, or even a fucking HD re-release of Demon Souls were like.
Well, there's the rumors that
follow.
Bluepoint are working on pretty much a remake of Demon Souls, which I think would be weird. I don't like. I would play it. Obviously, I love Demon Souls. I don't know that I would be super
That's not
hyped
for everybody though. That's not exactly. That's niche still, as much as people play Souls in terms of the grand scope of everyone who plays video games. You know.
Yeah. Even if
so
they like,
probably wouldn't be a long thing.
Even if they like touch it up and make it more modern, because the problem with that game now is that it just feels like playing through molasses. When you like,
and like, oh.
I mean, it's a very good game, but like I don't know if I think it would be smarter to just release the game as it is and touch it up, make the frame rate better. I don't know if that a full remake of that game would be really necessary.
How would you feel about if they read that game to make certain things easier to understand, like the upgrade system and like, if you like press forward on certain ledges, you can climb up on them.
I mean, I feel like that would be required. They'd have to, if they're gonna remake the game or do stuff like that, like making it more. I don't want to say more straightforward, but
yeah.
I think it's required to just make it overall a little more
in some ways.
Just some quality of life stuff, I guess. That's kind of what it comes down to.
That shit was like, it's in some ways, at this point, plenty of people have beaten that game. It's not as if people have suffered. Well, plenty of people have suffered through Souls games, but like, there's just certain aspects of it that are like, I like how you guys leave things obscure and kind of unanswered. This didn't have to be one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Or it shouldn't have been one of them. Like the fact that, a gameplay mechanic of you can climb on some things. You should probably tell people that.
Yeah.
It seems important. Or change your upgrade stat sheet to not show squiggly lines and be like, what stat is this? What am I upgrading? It's kind of important.
Mm-hmm. It would be cool, too, if they, like, added in some of those cut zones. There's, like, the levels that are just not there. And that you can kind of cheat your way into. Like, I know people have, like, modded or, like, hacked the game, and you can go in there and, like, the environments are kind of there. They're not textured, and there's, like, no enemies, but it'd be cool if they added stuff like that in. But, yeah, I don't know, like, I love Demon Souls. I think it's a hard sell to be like, hey, here's a remake of Demon Souls. It's like, I don't know. I'd be excited. I'd be excited for it, and I would play it. I would buy it. I would play it, but it would be
Sucker Punch. Give me my launch title release. Here's the fucking Infamous collection. Why didn't that happen on PS4 like this whole gen? That pisses me off.
I agree. I would platinum Infamous 2. Infamous 2 was my first platinum, and I would platinum that game again. It's one of my favorite platinums. That game is very, very good. But
still need to play Second Son one of these days.
Second Son is decent. I had the platinum in that too. But it's definitely not as good. But it's still decent. If you want an infamous fix, then you'll get it with that game, I think.
Gonna do that one of these days. Infamous games just like harken like so back to like video game in terms of how they control and like they're really arcadey, which I feel like the Saints Row games are like the same category, and I feel like those games are kind of dying out these days for like these far more serious in plot games, or these not serious at all, and there literally is no and like there's no in between of here's nice plot but also goofy gameplay type of things, or really unique ways of playing a game, like when do you think, just as an example, the next time you're gonna play a game that's like, here's me like fucking surfing on, electrical lines and shit like that. Like, I don't see that happening in a lot of games,
Yeah,
And
you're not wrong. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Sucker Punch is making Ghost of Tsushima now, which looks very, very good, but it's definitely more grounded, and I think it'll be a very cool game.
I hope it's not another Souls like. I've kind of like.
Oh, I don't think that.
I've
I don't think it will
my
be.
fill for a while, actually.
I don't think it'll be Souls-like. I think it'll just be kind of an open world, Witcher 3 style RPG game. Or maybe it won't even be RPG based. Maybe it'll just be kind of open world story based. I don't know. That's a game that like they've been very, very quiet on.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. I think that game will also probably come to PlayStation 5. It may even launch with it. We may have a situation where Ghost of Tsushima is similar to Breath of the Wild, where it's like, that game launches on the PlayStation 5. You can play it on PlayStation 4 as well. It launches, the same day, kind of like how Breath of the Wild also launched on Wii U.
Mm-hmm.
But
that game did come out on Wii U, didn't it?
It did, yeah. It did. The cross-dimensional games. The cross-gen games are always funny. Like, have you ever seen like the PlayStation 3 version of what's that game called? Fucking Shadow of Mordor. It looks
that doesn't work.
Yeah, basically. It looks so good on PlayStation 4. Like, that game actually looks really good, and it looks like total dog shit on PlayStation 3. The menus take, I'm not even kidding, the menus take like 60 seconds to load. Mm-hmm. Just like, not even like, just like your inventory menu or, your pause menu or some shit, just to like equip stuff.
Yeah. And then you go to the screen with your nemesis and shit. Yikes.
Yep.
Like, I thoroughly remember, because I had that game.
You had it on PlayStation 3?
Yep.
Oh.
It was not. It's like it controlled fun. It had the Batman shit. The game would get hard. Don't die. Just don't die. If you're fighting somebody, make sure you kill them, because they're gonna come back, and it's just eventually gonna be like, I'm just immune to damage.
Yeah. I never beat that game, but yeah, it got a little ridiculous at the end, where it's like, this enemy can only be damaged in this one very specific way, which I think is cool. But I had my fill.
Yeah.
But yeah.
The game was not good on PS3.
No,
at all.
It was not. Hopefully that doesn't happen again with cross-gen games ever, but it probably will.
Oh, man. So
after that, there was a new trailer for Persona 5 Scramble. So this is the Muso style game that I think Bandai Namco is working on. I haven't watched this trailer. I haven't played Persona 5, and actually this game, it was kind of showed off or announced that this game takes place after the ending of Persona 5, so it's like a continuation of the story. So that'll be a thing. It's a little disappointing for me, because I was hoping that maybe this game would. I mean, I guess it still could, but my hope for this game is that we can play as like Persona 3 and Persona 4 characters as well. That would be nice.
Oh, wasn't. So was that in this game, or was that in the Royale?
Oh, the boss fight with the protagonist from P3 and P4 was in Royale, so that's the re-release of Persona 5.
Oh, as playable characters, you want to play it? Ooh.
Yeah, I want to play like a Muso game where I'm playing as Akihiko and I'm just punching dudes,
That's a large cast of characters.
I mean, I don't think
I don't disagree with you though, frankly.
But I mean, the Muso, that's kind of a thing with the Muso games, is that you have, just a shit ton of characters.
Yeah. I
mean, I've only really played like Hyrule Warriors. That's the most experience I have in one of these Muso games, and there's like 30 characters or some shit in that game. So,
Oof. But that was that made with help? That was just Nintendo. Koei had nothing to do with that, right?
no, they did. They make all those games. Yeah, they make all those games. They do.
The Gundam ones too. The One Piece ones.
The Berserk one. I wanted to play that Berserk one, but that Berserk Muso game came out on Vita. Did you know that?
Fuck.
What? It came out on Vita, and apparently it was a total shit show.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
A Muso game came. Yeah. That's not. Oh my god. I gotta play it just because at this point, just like how I had to watch Berserk 2016 just because. You're a fan of Berserk. You chose this life, I guess.
I mean, I didn't watch that 2016 anime.
I did, not all of it. I watched season 1. I hated all of it. All of it.
I love Berserk. My experience with Berserk is watching the anime from the 90s and then kind of like wiki diving for some of the stuff that happens after that. Mm-hmm. And I love Berserk. I am not like, I don't read every volume or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of fine with that. I'm okay with that story being basically the anime.
You like Berserk just existing?
It ends on a bummer, but I'm totally cool with that.
When will Berserk not end? Bummer.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, okay. Speaking, just a little side story. Mira has come out and he's like, "Yo, so I'm gonna start like trying to make Berserk way more often because people do deserve an end to the series."
I feel like he said that for years, right?
Yeah. Oh, at the most he'll be like, "It's coming off hiatus chapter, going back on hiatus."
I know there was
him say that. Interesting.
I know there was a boat arc, and that's like the most of what I know about like recent Berserk. There's an arc where they were just on a boat for like 10 years or some shit.
So here's something really depressing, right? They were on that boat canonically for like a couple of months, maybe.
Yeah.
It took forever IRL for those chapters to come out. That's always been amazing. Berserk started in '89, and it's still going. Yeah. Like, so they did the thing to like try to fix Casca. And apparently, like, the results of trying to fix Casca have come out, and it's not that it's like, well, I don't know. I literally stopped right when they were going to do that, which sounds funny because that was like maybe 2 years ago. And I'm literally only like 6 chapters behind.
Yeah.
So that tells you about Berserk's like release schedule. But apparently, like, people were like, "Yeah, I saw that chapter. Bummer." That's all people have been saying, and I'm like, "Don't say that. Don't." I need.
It's kind of expected, but yeah.
Bummer. Yikes.
Griffith is still the greatest anime hero that has ever existed. But so Persona 5 Scramble is going to be releasing February 20th. This is my podcast, motherfucker. Shut the fuck up.
Fuck you.
The Persona 5 Scramble will release in Japan on February 20th, so it's kind of taking that Last of Us spot now.
It is.
Not that those games have similar audiences or anything, but just to people
way more stylish.
Just to people like us who, I almost feel bad sometimes because it's like I'm just into way too much shit. Like, I'm into almost everything,
Yeah.
I haven't played, like, a couple years ago, I spent, like, 20, 30 hours playing, like, MLB The Show 2017. And, like, I don't even watch baseball, but I was like, this is a fun baseball game. I'm into it.
Did you see those pictures on Twitter of, like, those bugs from MLB?
Yeah, I retweeted that, and you liked my retweet, I think, so.
Bruh, that was wild. The first time I saw it actually did scare me a little bit.
They are very freaky. Yeah, it's true.
That's crazy. That's damn. I've seen a lot of bugs, but fuck, it's worse than that Assassin's Creed shit some years back.
Yeah, those bugs were scarier than any enemy in Resident Evil Revelations 1 or 2.
Oh no.
That's a bad thing.
Yeah, I mean, one of them is a 3DS game, so I can't really fault them for that. But so Ubisoft, here's some Ubisoft news.
Yeah.
Ubisoft, however you want to say it, has delayed multiple titles. So they delayed Watchdog Legion. Let's see, what does this say? Gods and Monsters, which was they haven't really showed this game, but it looks kind of similar to Breath of the Wild. It's kind of an open world Greek game, which was weird to announce after they just put out Odyssey, but sure, I guess. Rainbow Six Quarantine, which I think is an expansion on Siege. I'm not really sure. I don't think that's a new game. And Watch Dogs Legion has been delayed into fiscal 2020-2021 year, which means, and this all comes from an article from The Verge, it means that they could be released sometime between April 2020 and March 2021. So I know that Watch Dogs Legion was supposed to come out pretty early next year, and so that's gonna be delayed probably until later into the year, possibly. Maybe even to like holiday 2020, maybe to line up with some of those next gen console releases.
Holiday, wow.
Ooh, and Gods and Monsters. Well, they haven't said holiday. That's just me,
Yeah.
with the armchair CEO. So Gods and Monsters actually had a hard release date, which was February 25th. I did not know that, and Watch Dogs Legion had a release date for March 6th, so those games are being delayed. And this all comes off the heels too of Ubisoft confirming that the Division 2 and Ghost Recon Breakpoint, they consider those games to be commercial failures. So I think that might have that might be a part of why they're delaying these games is to put them into the next kind of fiscal cycle and make that one, really, really pop, and or try to make that one really pop, and just kind of, let this one burn to the ground with these games that they consider to be commercial failures. But even though Ghost Recon Breakpoint is one of the best-selling games of the year, or maybe that was Division 2. What's crazy is that Ubisoft puts out games and like they're always like the best-selling games of the year. Like they do sell a lot of copies. Yeah, like Far Cry 5 was like one of the best-selling games ever. For Honor, or not ever, but like the year that it came out. For Honor was like one of the best-selling games the year that it came out. So,
you know what? One thing that can be said about Ubisoft for the most part is, well, first, other than like, they make a lot of shooters, but other than like EA, like aside from EA and whatnot, which some people, I feel like Ubisoft hasn't done enough to be put in that category of like big bad publishers, right?
Yeah, Ubisoft is kind of middle of the road. I think they have some microtransaction stuff in their games, but they don't like push it. And the thing about Ubisoft with me is that their games are always solid, but it's like if you just if you left these in the oven a little longer, like they would be very, very good. They have some very, very unique ideas and stuff. It's just they're always lacking kind of a level of polish. I think that they need. It's like Ubisoft is the king at releasing like 7 and 8s.
Yeah.
All of the games are like they're decent, but they could be 9s or 10s. Like the potential for them to be 9s and 10s are there. They don't really capitalize on that potential. I think
they're gonna run out of unique settings for Far Cry eventually. Maybe do some more Blood Dragon. In my mind,
I would love Blood Dragon 2.
I would too, actually.
They put out that weird fucking
Trials thing.
And like the Blood Dragons didn't even look like Blood Dragons anymore. They like completely changed. Anyway, that's a whole thing.
That's unique. But I forgot in my mind for a second that Watch Dogs 1 came out and it was like Watch Dogs 2 was Watch Dogs 1, and then Watch Dogs Legion was Watch Dogs 2.
Watch Dogs 2 was very good. I played that game.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was very good. It's cool to play. It's cool to play like a hacker, and But again, that game was like an 8, and
it seems like no one talked about it. Like it was like a couple of good reviews, and it was like, all right.
I think Watch Dogs 2 was definitely more well received than Watch Dogs 1.
Definitely.
And like Legion has this whole thing where you can play as like NPCs and stuff, which it's you will have to see how it actually plays out. But I think it's a really cool, interesting, gameplay mechanic.
Yeah.
They come up with interesting shit, and still no news on Beyond Good and Evil 2. I'm assuming that is also delayed until 2035 or some shit, but
yeah, it's probably easy to assume, at this point with certain games. Coming from Ubisoft, at least, you know what, you have to respect their honesty with it at the very least, and like even honesty in the sense of admitting like just these games didn't do nearly as well as we thought they would, right?
Yeah.
And not only admitting it, but like admitting it, like even in interviews and shit, and not just being like, oh, it's the quarterly meeting for shit, and it's like, oh, in their meeting they did this, but it's like, no, just interviews. Shit just didn't go as well as we thought. I had some stuff as well, and it was like, they didn't do a good job differentiating Breakpoint from what was it, Badlands,
Wildlands,
Wildlands, yeah, and stuff like that, So in a slight way, like the marketing could have been better.
I think the game just needs to be better as well, though. That game is
yeah,
not reviewing very well. So
it's considered one of the worst games of the year, which is really unfortunate.
Which is also not true. there have been worse games, trust me.
Yeah. Oh, I know, and I totally agree.
Let's not forget that Kingdom Hearts 3 came out this year.
That's not what I was thinking about, but fair enough.
And I say that as someone who was fucking obsessed with Kingdom Hearts, and if I had friends, I probably would have been parking lot Kingdom Hearts kid. So
don't tell me that.
I was way too cool for that, but I definitely made my I had my OC Keyblade that I made out of tubing and cardboard, and I had that. So
it's funny that you said let's not forget that Kingdom Hearts 3 came out, and I'm pretty sure most people forgot that Kingdom Hearts 3 came out this year.
They did. I forget sometimes too.
I forgot until you said that. It's like, oh yeah. To be fair, I have no fucking effect on Kingdom Hearts. I don't dislike Kingdom Hearts. I dislike that fucking card shit. And that's I tried to play one. CD was scratched. Couldn't play it. Then I slapped another one. It was that card shit, and I was like, fuck Kingdom Hearts forever.
Did you play the remake of Chain of Memories, or did you play the Game Boy version?
I was playing fucking. Which is the one where what's his name? Squall. It's like you're doing a tutorial, and Squall is like teaching you, and you got to use the cards and the chain.
Well, yeah, Chain of Memories is the one with the cards, but it originally released. It originally released on Game Boy Advanced, and they remade it on PS2. So you were probably playing that version.
And I hated it, and that was just no thank you.
Yeah, I haven't played the remake of that game. I played the Game Boy version, and man, the sprites in that game are so good. That game has some top tier sprites, let me tell you.
I gotta appreciate how we're Kingdom Hearts 3 just came out in 2019, but the series has existed for. We were both literally children when this series came out.
I mean, I was literally a child when Kingdom Hearts 2 came out.
Yeah, and apparently a little bit older than you, and we were both straight up grade school kids. Yeah. When Kingdom Hearts came out, which is weird to think about. And it's Kingdom Hearts 3 has just come out, but in between it, there's fucking a million games.
Yeah, I mean, I got Kingdom Hearts 2. Kingdom Hearts 2 is the first game in the series that I played, and I got that game for my 11th birthday. and Kingdom Hearts 3 came out, and I let's see, I just turned 24 this year, so I was 23 when Kingdom Hearts 3 came out, and I was 11 when I first played Kingdom Hearts 2. It's crazy to think about. Like, most of my life, let's see, how is that right? Like, more of my life went by between Kingdom Hearts and Kingdom Hearts 2, or Kingdom Hearts 2 and Kingdom Hearts 3, than, like, you know, I don't know. It's insane. Like, half of my life has been spent waiting for Kingdom Hearts 3, and, you know, I got what we got, which is kind of depressing, but
yeah.
So I think
it's like that sometimes.
It is. What else? Like, Rage 2 came out this year. You know, I played Rage 2, and, like, that game is plays very well, but that's about it.
Did it? Because it came out, and most people were like, "Yeah." Not even. It was just like, this game is not very unique.
I mean,
for some people, apparently, it was like, I could be.
It plays
Borderlands 2 at the time.
It plays very, very well. Obviously, you know, the gameplay was done by id. But yeah, the setting is bland. The story is, there's like 6 main story missions.
What?
Yeah, that's not a joke. There are, like, I forget the actual number, but it's like there are 6 main story missions. The story mission can be completed in like 2 hours. And like, some of the side stuff just isn't really worth doing. So,
God.
And like this, you know, the characters are. I will say there's one very funny thing that happens in Rage 2, and it's something that I actually really, really enjoyed. So at the start of the game, you can pick your character between either male or female, and they're both 2 characters that are standing there, and the character that you pick, you play as, and the other character gets fucking killed, like, immediately after.
That's amazing.
So, like, I picked the female character, and, like, immediately after picking that character, like, somebody fucking, like, busts the door in, and the door, like, crushes the male character, and he's just dead.
That's awesome, actually.
Yeah,
That's
it was
really cool.
It was very funny. I appreciated that moment, but everything after that was the best moment in the game, and that was, like, you know, the first button press. So
I'm actually marking out a little bit. I don't know why it's like so fucking. That's fucked up, but that's really cool to me for some reason.
It is. It's on the level of, like, you know, the Fractured Butthole, you know, having a difficulty slider that's like
a chainsaw right now. I'm sorry.
Fucking chainsaw.
They're cutting down trees or some shit. I'm not sure if you guys, like, if you can hear that, but
I can't hear it. Is Jason out there?
I hope. In my suffering.
But yeah, that's on the level of like a Fractured Butthole having the difficulty slider being a it's a skin color slider.
No. South Park gets away with shit sometimes, and I'm like, come on.
Yeah.
Come on. I would, in some ways, hope someone would be. You know what? The fucked up part is, like, I'm not gonna. I can't. I am legally obligated to say. I mean, it's not like it's wrong, but, like, all right, just come on, come on. Fuck, that was funny when they showed that. But, like, it's too depressing. Too depressing.
Okay, now I can hear the chainsaw. Now it's coming up. It sounds like it's in your fucking room.
Oh my god, dude, you need to fuck off. They're literally outside cutting down bushes and shit. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Did you have Monster Hunter on the list?
No. I have one more news story, and it's not Monster Hunter. So what do you got?
Just quick little news update for good old PC players one. But Monster Hunter World Iceborne gets a January release date. And Capcom announces that it will be coming January 9th, which is way sooner than I honestly thought. with ultra widescreen support coming through now, actually. Optional high-res textures also available from launch of Iceborne when it comes out.
Mm.
They're tweaking mouse and keyboard controls so that they're a bit more tuned up. Frame rates are uncapped, and the game now supports DirectX 12. So a nice few updates, and that's just, what they've announced now. Capcom has been doing a really good job of like spacing out update news for their video games, and especially Monster Hunter. Like, it's been really good.
Yeah, my understanding is that Monster Hunter team, Capcom just says do whatever the fuck you want. So it's like from what I've heard is that Monster Hunter has always been fucking good, and that team has always been good with updates and shit. So
it's nice, like, and it's as much as in a lot of companies it seems like these guys actually know what the fans want. It seems like they actually listen when people are like, yo, can you put this guy in the game? Or can you fix this? Or can you balance this? And they're like, okay. And they actually do it, So it's really nice. I thought that was a really exciting news, at least myself, because I am now a PC gamer, I guess. And I, of course, play Monster Hunter on PC. So it's nice to get a confirmed date of when, because I assumed I don't know when, because they literally just said later.
Yeah.
For Iceborne,
Yeah, when you hear later, you expect, like, I don't know, like, fucking March or some shit.
So, like, dude, that's literally, like, right at the beginning of the year. That's dope. Might get some more news. They're putting Rajang in a game. A lot of other monsters are getting subspecies and shit now.
Is that the weird ape guy?
Yeah, the Super Saiyan.
Yeah, I've seen just a screenshot of what he looks like. He looks pretty dope. I don't have Iceborne yet. It's like on my list.
He's mean. I don't like him at all.
That's like
okay, so like his introduction, like when they were like Rajay, you remember Kieran, fucking lightning
horse, yeah.
His introduction video is literally him picking Kieran up and ripping off his horn and eating it. Just throwing him.
That shit in Monster Hunter World is so fucking good. It was like that with Devil Joe too. Devil Joe shows up and he just fucks up Ajane or whatever the fuck that T-Rex guy is. And it's like, yes. Anjanath, yes.
Fucking Devil Joe.
I love that shit, dude.
He's so strong. I love it. And,
Pickle boy.
It's not a... Oh, yeah, he is. Veiny pickle boy.
That's a thick-ass pickle boy.
That's a fact. Bruh. I need some more Monster Hunter mods. Some of those are fucking wild. I have a mod that makes it so when I do like the foresight slash with the long sword where you like do the dodge backwards and then you do the forward slash. Fucking King Crimson from JoJo pops out.
Oh my god.
It's the goofiest shit in the world. It's great.
Jesus.
Yo, mods are fire.
I can't wait to get back to Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter's funny because it's like, for me, like, I can't play any other weapon in that game besides the hammer. But I love I love that fucking hammer. Let me tell you what.
It's amazing.
Smashing boys.
Oh,
I love that. Like the fucking overhead where it's like smash, 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 smash. It's so fucking good. It feels so nice. You're just like smashing the shit out of some monster's head.
Yeah.
Breaking some horn off or some shit.
I feel like Capcom did a really good job of like that hammer feels like the hammer and I feel like they have weight to them.
It really does. It really, really does.
It's really, but that makes when, take for instance a monster getting KO'd, or what have you. It feels like in any case, I always like never managed to swing and get off that full combo. You do the smash, 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 then you do the like spin around big smash.
Yes.
And they get up right while I'm spinning around. They're like, fuck you. Every time.
They're like, when I was like really into Monster Hunter World, I could do it with certain monsters pretty well. Where you learn the timing, like and you can just get it all in. It feels so good.
It does. It really does. I'm glad that game's doing well because
Yep.
they just knocked it out of the park with it. Honestly, like that's all I can say. They know what Monster Hunter fans like, and they knew how to make it accessible for people who never even heard of Monster Hunter. And now they have an even stronger community than ever, and it's really awesome. Switch players, it's not coming to Switch, so stop fucking asking. People actually do that. When's Monster Hunter World coming to Switch? Like fucking, it's coming to Switch when Demon Souls comes to Switch.
I mean, I believe that like World 2 will possibly come to Switch. I think Capcom
Switch is
said
still gonna get like OG Mon Hunt though.
Yeah, I think Capcom said that like Monster Hunter games on Nintendo consoles are still gonna come, and so if it's World 2, if they make World 2 and they do a Switch version, or if it's just like a Switch exclusive version, I don't know, but
definitely not dead on the Switch. Even I can, definitely not. There's nothing to worry about in that regard. As much as a lot of people were like, it's nice to see Monster Hunter coming home because it did start on the PlayStation 2.
Yes, that's what I was waiting for. It's like I want this game to come back to consoles, and I'm so in. And so, like that E3 where they showed it off, I was like, yes. Very excited. So the last news story that I have, and we can't talk about this for very long. I talked about this with Blue last time, where if we talk about Sonic for more than 5 minutes, all of the podcast services will like put you in a different category. They'll like put you in a Sonic category, and I don't want to be in that category. I want to stay out of that category. So we can't talk about this for more than 5 minutes. But the redesign for the Sonic movie has been leaked, and it's been leaked in a couple different places. So it seems like this is legit. Like this is the legit redesign. I don't know if you've seen this yet. Have you?
I have not. This is news to me.
Let me post this in show chat and show you what it looks like.
Yeah.
So that
story after this.
Okay. Yeah, we'll get to that soon because we can't talk about Sonic for very long. But that seems to be his redesign, which I think is a good redesign. I'm a little disappointed because I think the old design was exactly what Sonic fans deserve. I really do. I mean, like
what they deserve.
Yeah, the fucking OC DeviantArt Sonic fans deserved the old Sonic design. Like, come on.
You're right.
The pregnant Sonic fans that like to draw Sonic pregnant and shit, they deserved that old design. Let's be honest. But the new design is good. He's a little chibier, I think.
Yeah, I was gonna say, right? His face looks like a little fat, kinda.
Yeah, he definitely looks like more of the chubby Sonic from like the original Sonic games than like edgy Sonic from the newer games. But he's got a
thinner one.
He doesn't have the like thick fucking thigh muscles, and he's got gloves on. His face looks a little nicer. We'll see if he still has the teeth. I think the teeth were like the most disturbing part of that old design. But yeah, that's Sonic.
Yeah, I mean, it's not bad. I mean, I don't. If they were gonna make his face like a bit wider, then maybe he should have been a little shorter, which he does appear to be kind of short. From this blurry image, the shoes look better. Yeah, his hands look kind of big. I don't know what that's about. Like from the shoulder downwards, like they get a lot bigger. Which Sonic normally has thin arms and then just like kind of big hands.
Right. There was another angle. Let's see if I can find the picture from another angle. There was an angle. There was a leak where it was like from the front. He was like facing from the front. Let's see if I can.
But it seems like you like see like the tufts of like white fur or lighter colored fur, I guess, in his ears, which I like.
Okay, yeah. So here's the shot from. This is like the other leaked shot.
Oh, from the one from the front that I'm looking at right now.
I just
It looks
posted
like
it.
he doesn't. Let me look at yours. Yeah, this is what I was looking at. It kind of almost looked like he didn't have the like bit of eyeball right in the middle. 'Cause you know how Sonic always had that one big eyeball, two people
Yeah.
thing going on.
Yeah.
That shit's so fucking freaky, but people are just used to it.
Have you ever?
It almost looks like he doesn't have that in this.
Are you familiar with? Yeah, he doesn't have it in the old design. I think that it's like a white patch, but he has two distinct eyeballs. But are you familiar with Sonic Dreams Collection?
So we could just end the podcast right now, if, you know. Don't talk to me about that shit. I am familiar with.
Okay, there's a really good singular eye hole bit
Oh no!
in that game that's really funny.
Oh my god! Put that in the movie, and then you just lose your soul if you look at it.
I mean, they should. Like, the Sonic Dreams Collection is the best Sonic content that has come out in years. Let's be honest.
You're not wrong. Definitely not wrong. You're actually right. I would say.
Mm-hmm. I usually am.
Who told you that? That's a damn lie.
So what's your last story? Because that's all I have. That's all I have.
You know what's funny is like that's not even the only Sonic picture in fucking Joe Chat.
Yeah, we're done with Sonic. We're done with Sonic. We're done with Sonic. Oh, me and Blue talked about Sonic last week. We talked about why did we talk? Oh, because the fucking Halloween mask came out.
Jesus Christ.
The Halloween mask came out and it's available to purchase, but it's based on the old Sonic design. So, and then
man.
Blue. I'm going through the show chat right now. Blue wasn't familiar with a lot of these images, so I showed him the image where it's the poster that's taken from the perspective is from Sonic's dick.
Yeah.
And then I had to show him the image where Sonic like makes out with a girl from Sonic 06. He didn't believe me that happened, but
yeah, he like stuck his whole nose in the never mind.
But that's all the allotted time we have for Sonic on this podcast. I really don't want to get categorized into the Sonic category on all of my podcast services, so that's it. I'm cutting it off. That's enough Sonic.
Eat ass, all right? That's all I'm saying. My last story that I had on the docket. You went over most of the stuff that I had. I didn't really have a lot of stuff.
Oh, I have one more thing actually. I'm sorry.
Oh no, go for it.
No, you go first.
This is just right. I don't really have a lot to add because it's kind of funny to me.
Mm-hmm.
But Google to launch multiple game studios for Stadia exclusives, but huge new IPs still several years out.
I did not hear this.
Planning to create a few different first-party studios to make exclusive games for Stadia.
Yeah, I mean that's what you need, right? Is first-party studios. I think if you're gonna have I mean, Stadia is not really a console per se, but
Stadia still feels like an idea to me.
It does. A lot of what Google does feels like ideas.
That's funny to me, though. For some, like, no one's people are gonna buy this. People are definitely gonna buy this, but it's not. You're not getting in this race. It's too late. Like I don't see it happening. And on top of that, like, so the Stadia, it seems like it's gonna come out eventually. But Stadia specific exclusive games aren't gonna come out when it comes out. It's gonna be like you're playing Destiny 2 on Stadia, or you're playing whatever other games choose to partner with Google for this. And it's like that's so weird to me because at that point you're not your own console. If you don't even have your own games, you're not your own console. In a lot of ways, like you're a box people can play other games that already exist on.
Yeah.
You're an emulator.
I'll tell you what would have sold me on Stadia immediately is if they had the balls to be like, if they just announced it as like the Stadia 2. If they just came out and they were like, here's Stadia 2. It'd be like, wait, what? What? Stadia 2? I'd be in. I'd be like, okay, I'm going to buy a Stadia 2. They just completely skipped the Stadia 1. They're like, here's the Google Stadia 4, I'd be like,
Stadia 360.
wow, okay, sure, I'm in.
Just name all the Stadia consoles after already existing consoles. Oh, dude. Where's the Stadia Pocket Edition?
It's. I was gonna say it's called the Ouya, but that's not true. The Ouya is the Stadia 1.
That's disrespectful to Google.
That's
Disrespectful to... Is it? Ouya? I'm sure Liam and like all the other 10 people who bought those feel real silly. Liam probably doesn't feel silly. He loves.
Yeah, he loved the Ouya. So the very last thing that I have is I don't know how interested in this you are, but there was a new trailer for Star Wars Rise of Skywalker, Rise of the Skywalker. I forget what this fucking movie is called. But yeah, Star Wars happened.
A Star Wars happened. Episode 3 best Star Wars movie. Fight me.
Episode 3 is the worst prequel movie.
But the best Star Wars movie overall.
No.
Yes.
It's funny, like, in my opinion, Episode 1 is the best of the prequel movies. Mainly because, I mean, that movie is weird because it like, doesn't have a protagonist. Like, there's no main character in that movie. Because, like, it's not Qui-Gon. It's not Qui-Gon, and it's not Obi-Wan. And it's not Anakin, because Anakin doesn't show up until, like, an hour into that movie. But I think, like, you know, like, the Tatooine sections on that movie, like, feel like Tatooine, and it feels like Star Wars. And Episode 2 is the worst of the prequels. That movie is a fucking... I hope to never watch that movie ever again. That movie is...
Spacing, but Episode 2, I think, and parts of 3 actually, I don't feel like... Politics? You want politics? But people want those politics.
I just think about that fucking droid factory from Episode 2. I just want to kill myself.
I'm not a big Star Wars fan. I'm a
really
big Episode 3 fan, though.
Ugh.
Okay, you know what? To be fair, I'll just say it. I enjoy Episode 3 just for the irony of all the bullshit Anakin does and his reason for doing all that bullshit, only to be the cause of his fear in the end anyway. Fucking idiot. Like, I'm gonna go through all this bullshit to protect her, and then you're gonna go crazy. It's his Force choker.
Here's the thing about Episode 3 is that people are always like, yeah, the prequels suck, but Episode 3 is okay. And I think people only say that is... The reason people say that is because Episode 3 is the one that finally gets to the fucking point, you know? Even though it does it poorly, it's like, here's the episode that finally shows you, like, you know, Anakin turning into Darth Vader. Because the other two were just, like, a bunch of bullshit that happened. And here's the one that, like, finally shows you, like, you know, the shit. But it does it so poorly. Like, Anakin goes from good guy to bad guy in a split second. And he goes from, like...
one conversation.
Yeah, and it's you know, I think the sequel trilogy has some faults, but I fucking love Kylo Ren. I think he's so good. He's honestly like, you know, and I'll probably get shit for this, but he's not my favorite, obviously, but he's one of my favorite Star Wars characters. I think and Adam Driver does a great job with this character, I think, but I just love his, like, he's like, nah, I like being evil. It's cool. And he's like,
he looks angsty as shit.
Well, he is, but he's like, you know, and I think it might just be the actor, but it's more believable. You know, I believe the conflict in him a little better than I did with Hayden Christensen. But I love that he's like trying so hard to convince himself that he likes being evil.
Yeah.
But like he almost like really doesn't. But like he's like, he's gone too far at this point to run it back, and so he just keeps going, even though he doesn't necessarily want to.
He's Prince Zuko.
He is kind of.
No, I can see the appeal of that. I gotta watch that movie eventually.
Have you not seen any of the sequel movies?
Dude, I have not seen most of it.
Okay.
And it's nothing even against Star Wars. Like, I have no dislike for Star Wars. It's just
I just haven't watched them yet. I guess you could honestly, it's something I just haven't watched yet.
Yeah,
You know?
that's fair. I'm not like the biggest Star Wars fan, but I enjoy Star Wars.
I appreciate it 100%. I've been saying for the longest I want a Star Wars game made by Platinum. EA, hand it over. You suck. Like, you know,
I don't know. I want a Star Wars game like. I want a Star Wars game that has nothing to do with some secret Jedi. I talked about this last week, I think, but I'll take a Star Wars game that's just like. It sucks because like we had what is that game called? Dark. Fuck. What's the game with Kyle Katarn?
The one with Unleashed?
No, not Force Unleashed. The one with Kyle Katarn that was like a Doom game, basically.
Oh, I'm not sure.
It's called like Dark.
Does it sound cool on paper?
It is a really cool game. What the fuck? I gotta look this up. I hate this shit. Fill for time, please.
Okay, so the reason I always said that, you know, a Platinum game made by Star Wars would be cool. I just want a really stylish Star Wars game, you know. And I know it's like I'm tired of lightsabers, right? That's fair. I would 100% feel you on that. And the only way this, like, I imagine, like, what if like Metal Gear Rising was a Star Wars game?
Yeah.
Yeah, dope ass lightsabers and shit, and you were doing all this crazy stuff, right? And then in some way you could toss in, you know, a bit of force abilities and whatnot. Like, I think that would be really cool. Now, mind you, Platinum doesn't tell the best stories, admittedly. I think maybe.
I mean, they're fun.
Yeah, fun, definitely. And, you know, it's funny to say because Platinum's writing style, being so damn Japanese and whatnot, that felt like a Metal Gear Solid story. It was just so stupid and weird. It just did, yeah, okay, it's believable. You know, for Rising, and like, also when Rising 2 win, please.
Oh, good lord. Don't.
Yeah, Konami's never letting that happen.
I wish. I really do. So the name of that game is Star Wars Dark Forces, and
that sounds familiar.
It was like a Doom kind of game, but you played as Kyle Katarn, and he wasn't a fucking Jedi. And then in the sequels, and the titles for the sequels are, one of these just got re-released too. It's like Star Wars Jedi Knight Dark Forces 2, and then like the sequel is Star Wars Jedi Knight Dark Forces 2, so you still have Dark Forces in there. But then the sequel to that is Star Wars Jedi Knight Mysteries of the Sith, so they went with the Jedi Knight thing. And then from there that we got Star Wars Jedi Knight 2 Jedi Outcast. It's like
that's that like Shin Megami Tensei Persona than just Persona shit that just happened. That's interesting.
Sort of, yeah. But they turned Kyle Katarn into a Jedi, and it's just like, can we just get a game that doesn't focus on lightsabers? Because there's some cool shit. Like, I just want to play as like a Han Solo type, or like, you know.
You just want Gunman?
Yeah, I kind of just want Gunman. And they were making 1313, but even that was like,
dude, I would have loved that. Yeah.
Well, they showed off 1313, and then, you know, after it was canceled, they revealed that, like, the random dude that you were playing as was actually just Boba Fett. So even that's just like, can we just get some rando? Can we just get, like, you know, and
just
maybe
want a guy on a planet somewhere? But
yeah,
in
maybe
Star Wars universe.
That seems like what they were going for with Visceral's game that was canceled, but you know, who knows? Just all I want is a Star Wars game that isn't focused on a fucking secret Jedi, because I'm sick of secret Jedi. I really am. There's
no destiny, no prophecy bullshit. Just I'm a fucking dude, a guy that literally anybody can do with a gun.
Mm-hmm.
I want that too, actually. I don't mind just being guy with a gun. I don't have to be cool guy. Not everybody needs a lightsaber. You're actually super right, you know.
Yes, again, I usually am.
Oh my god. Even in that, like, I mean, if you're not guy with a gun, you're either gonna be playing as fucking some other already named character who uses a gun. You're not gonna be,
mm-hmm.
And that's
even like the PSP Battlefront games. had you playing as these two like clone brothers. They were like special elite clones. They weren't like the Django clones. They were just they were clones of each other, and they were brothers. And so you started in the Clone War era, and the story eventually turned into one of the brothers turning into a Jedi and one of the brothers turning into a Sith. And it's like, why? Why does every character have to turn into a Jedi, or I don't know.
Like, in all seriousness, it's not like that's the only thing that happens in the Star Wars universe. I mean, so it's supposed to be in another galaxy, right? So are all the planets in this fucking galaxy? And yes, Star Wars is like a multi-planet, universe, so to speak. But like, are all the planets just all intertwined with like Sith Jedi bullshit? Because apparently, like I was told in some of the movies, like a lot of planets and we're fucking fed up with you, both of you guys. Fuck off. Like, none of we keep your Sith Jedi bullshit away from us, because a lot of places just end up caught up in the strife of that shit. And okay, so what if you were playing a game where you were just a guy from a planet that is war torn and fucked up from like the remnants of a fight that happened between the Sith and the Jedi, and like your planet and your city and everything is just fucked up, and like you have to survive, and whatever else may happen, some nebulous objective of some sort. But I don't know. I kind of like the appeal of being gunman. Lightsabers are cool. Everyone knows they're cool, but like, come on. Until you give me like a lightsaber chainsaw, fuck.
So, some of the best Star Wars content is still that Gendry Tarkovsky animated Clone Wars series.
Yeah,
it's very good, and it's a shame that that's not canon anymore.
Best Star Wars games are the Legos ones. Fight me.
Oh yeah, I won't fight you on that one. Those games are very good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, that brings me back.
They know what they're doing. They know what they're doing with us.
They really do.
We're gonna get a Lord of the Rings game just because. What, do people remember that?
No, and I think like the Hobbit Lord of the Rings games, and possibly even the regular Lord of the Rings Lego games were like delisted.
Oh wow!
So
damn. I guess that happens. What, you don't want to pay for fucking licensing anymore? Shit. Yeah, well, it's been long enough, I guess. It had its time.
Yeah.
I do remember playing when Lord. Really fun. You know what? I don't know if it was really fun, because you remember a lot of shit when you were a kid, and you're like, "This game was really good." It's like, no, it wasn't.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so that's it for news. That's all the news I got. We're gonna close out here with a game. I played this game with Blue last time, and I promise we're not gonna play this game every podcast. Don't expect this every podcast. But I had a lot of fun last time, so we are going to play Swish or Swash. Are you familiar with the rules for Swish or Swash?
I've never heard of this.
So this is a game of my invention. I have a list of things, and so this week I have a list of all of the new Pokemon for Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield, and I'm going to tell you the name of the Pokemon. And you're not allowed to tell me any elaborate details on your thoughts. You're not allowed to go and tell me what your opinions are. After I read the name of the Pokemon, you must answer either Swish or Swash, and that's all you can say.
But what do those mean?
Well, so Swish is like you get like a swish, and it's like yes, like
it's good.
You fucking swished it, right? And then Swash,
okay.
And then Swash is like you completely miss. When you completely miss like the backboard and you get it into like the audience and shit. I'm told they call that a swash. That's a real thing.
Okay.
So Swish or Swash, and you're not allowed to elaborate on your opinions at all. That's the only two words that you are allowed to say. So, are you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Grookey.
People are gonna hate me, but Swash.
Score Bunny.
Swish. Multiple swishes.
Multiple swishes. Oh, you are allowed 2 super swishes as well.
Oh wow. Yeah, super swish.
Sobble.
Swish.
Okay. Wooloo.
Swish.
Yep, correct. Gossifleur.
I think that's the swish.
Edelgoss.
These fucking names. Oh my god.
Edelgoss is like the dandelion, the big poofy white dandelion one.
Fucking.
It's the
swoosh.
Okay.
Swish.
Swash.
Rather.
Swish?
Swash. Oh my god. No. Swash. I'm sorry.
Swash? Okay. Dreadnought.
That name is good. Swish.
Corviknight.
Swish.
Yamper.
Swash.
Impidimp. Impidimp hasn't like officially been revealed. It's just I think this is one that's just been in leaks and stuff.
Yeah. That name is so. These names are so good. I'm gonna go with Swash.
That's a swash. Okay.
I
mean, okay, it's your game. It's your game.
I gotta see a design.
Oh, you haven't seen Impidimp?
I don't think so.
Oh,
I don't know.
Impidimp is a cutie.
Oh,
Let's see. I might be able to
I feel like
place
I would
this.
have done better at this if I saw some designs.
I might be. Yeah, here's a picture of Impidimp.
I like cute things.
Tell me,
fucking.
Impidimp is a swish. Come on.
Like, you know, to be fair, Epidip looks like it would be in Dragon Quest.
He kind of does, yeah.
Swish.
Okay, thank you. Al Creamy.
Swish for Rule 34.
Okay. I might have to kick you off the podcast for that one.
No.
I mean, okay, it's fine. It's your game. Again, it's your game. Zamazenta.
That name is so. It's a Naruto character. What is fucking.
So
Say
this
it again.
Zamazenta. This is the shield legendary.
Huh. I like big lions, but like it's big dumb shield.
Big
names.
lions? He's not a lion.
Is he not a lion?
No, they're wolves.
Oh.
Fucking lions. Get the fuck out of here. They're wolves.
I thought it was like a big mane. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's got a mane, but, you know, he's still a wolf.
Now get him out, because the one with the sword in the mouth will always be cooler.
Okay, so you're swooshing Zamazenta.
Yeah.
Or swashing, I'm sorry. So Zacian.
Yeah. Super swish.
Oh, super swish. Morpeko.
Which one is that?
This is the like Pikachu ripoff. Here, I'll post it here.
I hate it.
This game's not called I Hate It, and you can't tell me that you don't like the colors. All you can say is either swish or swash.
Swash.
Okay, thank you. Please stick to the rules. Thank you. We got 3 more here. Cramorant.
So
This is the like blue stork Pokemon. Swish or swash?
Swash.
Swash!
I'll tell you why after.
No, you're not allowed to tell me why ever. I am allowed to elaborate. So Cramorant is one of my favorite new Pokemons from this game.
What? I can't. Okay.
Oh man, I think he looks great. Okay, 2 more. Poltegeist.
Swash.
And finally, Sirfetch'd.
Swash. Super swash.
Oh!
Especially because I know that annoys you.
Yeah, that one was just to hurt me. I saw that.
He's fine.
Okay, that's Swish or Swash. You kind of broke the rules a little bit, but I'll forgive you. It's your first time playing.
I can't. You know what? If I don't elaborate sometimes, and I know that's not the, it's that type of thing with Would You Rather, where it's like I can't just give you an answer right off the bat. Like I don't like knee-jerk responses or answers to shit.
That's why That's why I like to make you do it.
I hate it so much. Like there has to be some logic to it. At least that I ain't. How creamy. Rule 34 is already all over. Can't even stop it.
I don't want to talk about Al-Karimi. So this was this was a podcast. This was a podcast.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, let's talk about it. Let's have a whole post podcast show where we talk about our podcast. So I figured we can shill our shit again. So where can people find you? What are you playing? What's coming up for your Twitch channel?
Whew, boy. All right, people. Once again, my name is Sabari _. I mean, actually, you don't have whatever.
The underscore is important.
You can find me at Vinny-sama. Oh my god.
Vinny-sama. Okay.
You can find me at twitch.tv/Hibari-sama _. And I'm playing Pokemon Platinum Randomized Nuzlocke. And I am playing Bioshock Infinite. I might be playing Resident Evil 7, so who knows?
Ooh.
The crazy world. Who knows?
Yes.
I'm not doing it. Well, I'll do it for a little bit. But one of those DLCs, fuck you.
Resident Evil 7 DLCs?
Yeah.
Is it the
really
one?
hard one?
Oh, the really hard one.
Yeah.
Is it the puzzle? Is it the puzzle one?
What is it called? Ethan Must Die. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Fuck those ones. I didn't play those ones.
That's a difficult one.
The one with Chris and the one with fucking Joe Baker, Punch Man Joe Baker, are really good.
Oh yeah, they are. Not a Hero is interesting, but I feel like the one with Joe Baker is like so much better.
I mean, Not a Hero is like an hour and a half long, so it's like, and it was free, so it's like,
He doesn't look like Chris though, and it pisses me off. Like,
he doesn't. He does not look like Chris, like even remotely.
It's weird.
I guess he's got big biceps, so that part of his character design at least stuck around.
He punches really hard.
He can probably still punch some rocks. It's true.
Yeah. You ever just punch a boulder? That's the dumbest fucking. He could have just punched it, but he punched it. Like, okay, fair enough. So I might be doing it. We're still playing Evil Within. I mean, not Evil. I'm losing my fucking.
Evil Within.
No, I'm sorry. Still playing Bioshock Infinite. I wish I was playing Evil Within. Fuck's sake. I should do that.
When's the Okami stream? You're like, next year, motherfucker.
Yeah, you never know. I'll say honestly, you never know. Maybe I will. Honestly, let me think about it. There's so many good games though, dude. Do you ever have that thing where you just feel bad for playing certain games when
yes.
like you're streaming? You're like, I could be streaming this game.
Yeah, while playing a game, it's like, man, I could be playing this other game.
Yeah, it's weird. But yeah, I stream every Monday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and yeah, from 3 to 8 now. I bumped it up to 5 hours.
Wow.
I do 5 hours now. Yeah.
Putting it in. Putting in that work.
I'm trying. I'm really trying. I love you guys. So yeah, that's me. Also, follow me on Twitter, Hibari-sama as well. You'll see me retweet shit because I don't tweet much. I ain't got shit to say. Fuck y'all.
Well, fucking retweet my shit more often. Jesus.
I retweet.
I know. I'm just giving you shit. Yeah, definitely follow Hibari on Twitch and on Twitter. He's a very fun guy. He's got a great little community, and
I'm very awesome. Far better than Michael here.
Yes, you are far better than me. It's true.
That's not true.
I mean, it is, and that's fine. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with being at the bottom of the ladder. It's okay. So I will be finishing up Spooky Hype Gaming this week. Not really sure what that's gonna look like.
RE6, coward.
I'm not going to play more RE6. I might go the rest of my life without playing RE6
That's fair.
ever again.
That's fair.
It was a fun fucking whirlwind for one night, but it's that kind of game where it's like it's fun to experience for one night, but if I actually try to go through the effort of beating that, it would just be miserable.
Yeah, that's good to know because Nob and I one of these days.
It might be fun with co-op. That might make it more enjoyable.
Optimal experience.
Yeah. So I'm definitely gonna play some Castlevania games. We're gonna have a Castlevania marathon night.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Lords of Shadow. Yeah.
No,
yeah.
not gonna play Lords of Shadow.
Yeah.
It's gonna be the anniversary collection, and I'm gonna play like all the classic games, like one and 3, and probably a little bit of 4, and we'll just kind of mess around with a bunch of those games.
Arius in the name is pretty cool.
Yeah, I wish they would do a fucking re-release of some of those Game Boy games.
Yeah.
But yep, that'll be that. Next weekend I'll be doing Extra Life. So tune in for more details on that. You can follow me on Twitch at SuperHypeGaming. You can follow me on Twitter at SuperHypeGaming. You can find the podcast pretty much anywhere. We're on Stitcher. We're on iTunes now. iTunes finally stopped curving me and let me on their platform. So now it's a race to get banned from iTunes.
What's gonna happen?
I said this before. The goal is to get banned from iTunes quicker than we got accepted on iTunes. So I'm working on that. We're on iTunes. We're on Spotify. We're on Google Play Music or whatever the fuck that shit is. So we're everywhere. So you can find me and this podcast at several places. Definitely follow my Twitter account. My Twitter account is the best content that I put out. It's better than any of my streams. So go there. And I have one last thing.
I love you, man.
I have one last thing. So I forgot. Unfortunately I didn't write this down, so I forgot. But I forgot to do the SAT prep bit with you.
No.
So we'll just say that you failed. So
That's about right.
So the SAT prep is where I give you a word and you have to use the word during the podcast. So since I didn't give you a word, we'll just say that you didn't use the word. So that's how that will work. So when you fail SAT prep, you must close the podcast with a hokey video game line. So I will post that in show chat, and we'll end the podcast on you reading this video game line. Are you ready?
I was definitely cheated, but let's do it.
There you go.
Ooh. All right, you guys. Thanks for tuning in to the Super Hype Gaming Podcast. And to quote Titus here. Ha ha! I'm sorry.
What is happening? What?
I'm losing. I'm having a stroke. I'm sorry.
It seems like it.
Father, I don't have a father. I just don't like you. That's all. That's a good line, actually. Oh man, Devil May Cry 3 is so good.
I don't know what you're talking
That line
about.
was.
I don't know what game that came from. I just pulled it up. I pulled these quotes just from random video game.
You have that tattooed on your chest.
I pull it from randomvideogamequote.com. So, Blue had a quote last week, and it's all random. But thank you, Hibari. Thank you for joining me again this week. It was a lot of fun. I love having you on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yep, for sure. So that's gonna be it. That's episode 6. Go play Fallout 76, everybody. Goodbye.
Oh yeah. Damn, boy. Damn, boy, he's thick. Boy, that's a thick ass boy. Damn.